also mentioned this really interesting aspect of how it's all about sort of studying and mirroring someone in whose behavior is inspirational to you. You would rather react or think or be in a certain way than maybe the way you're being in a given situation. And this also sounds a little bit, we were discussing this about how and why people study other people's lives through their autobiographies or movies, because you're inspired by them. Right? So it's really all a process of understanding a different way to approach various situations, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. You're bang on with that. And let's even understand what this role modeling actually means, or mirroring actually means, where each of us in our brain have something called as a mirror neuron. Okay, which is why monkey see, monkey do. Right? You see people in a cafe that are beautifully in sync with each other and they get along. You'll see that they're mirror reflections of each other. Is because in NLP, we have a term of rapport building or rapport, okay, where the mirror neuron is working really well. You are in sync with somebody or mirroring them. Now, a lot of this is unconscious. Role modeling is a part of that unconscious process until you can consciously get specific outcomes by role modeling some people. Okay, let me give you examples of unconscious role modeling. We unconsciously role model on strong people in our lives, or let's park the word strong, let's say people in our life that have had an influence on us, right? Either parents, grandparents, people we may have lived with, teachers, professors, so on and so forth. Meaning, if you have somebody who knows your parent and you have unconsciously role modeled on him and you behave a certain way, and this friend or colleague or partner will come and say, my God, you behave just like your mom right now. Or you said this just like your father. And then you step back and say, really? I didn't think about it. It's because until that moment, you were unconsciously role modeling them. And that means you were mirroring and taking on attributes, qualities of their thought process, belief, and behavior. Right? This is unconscious. When you're doing it consciously, what does an average individual do? We buy autobiographies. We speak to people that we feel inspired by. And what is our intention? That, oh, you are brilliant with finances. Oh, you are great with your stage presence. I want to be like you. What do the people really want? I want exactly the same outcome that you are getting. And I want to be able to emulate it for myself. Right? And that when I sit down and understand and ask the person, or even think for myself, what is he or she doing differently than what I am doing? That's exactly where I'll know that my ingredients are different from his ingredients in terms of the manner in which I'm adding them. Let's say we all have the same ingredients to make tea, but each one with the same ingredients, their tea will taste different. Than what you will make to what I will make to what he will make. And today there's a third person whose tea I taste, and I taste your tea and I say, oh, Devina, I quite like the tea you have made. What are your ingredients? And you list them identical to my ingredients. I'll say, our ingredients are the same. Then what is it that's making your tea taste different? Though the ingredients are the same, the manner in which you will add them or the sequence in which you will add them will be different from what I would be doing. Now let's contextualize it with human behavior. We again have 5 senses. Let's say we have 5 building blocks of human behavior. Just the manner in which you will put something to create a certain state in your mind will be different with the way I will create my recipe for a certain state. Okay, ingredients are the same. What I add before what only will be the difference. So if I want to make tea exactly like you are doing, what do I need to do? Get your recipe, duplicate it and emulate it and model it. Similarly, if I like something that you are doing with your behavior, you're getting fantastic outcomes, your comfort in front of a camera, for example, if I say, wow, Devina, so comfortable in front of a camera, I aspire for that. What do I need to do? Ask you your recipe. What are you thinking of in your head before you go onto camera? What are your beliefs? What is it that you're doing differently for what I am? The minute I role model, my comfort probably will be identical. That's as simple as what role modeling is.
Say, there's a certain area in your life that you're lacking, you'd like to improve in, in whatever it is. A motivational speaker will present, say, in video format. You'll go onto YouTube and watch some videos, and they'll really pump you up and, inspire you that, yeah, you can do this, you can do that. But what happens most of the time is that people view that content and absorb it basically as entertainment, without the factor of actually making those changes to get to that level which you really love. And most people will train you to do that, to absorb their content as entertainment. But it sounds like NLP is that bridge that transforms. Okay, you have the desire to evolve, that's great, but you do need the tools to actually evolve. Sounds like NLP is a bridge to take you there, to that transformation point.
Brilliant. Absolutely. And let's even take this example of saying somebody hears a motivational speaker, or let's say somebody goes to a person for help. Okay. And this individual gives lots of advice. So motivational speaker will give lots of advice, and from the good space of, or the intentions are good. The intentions are always to inspire, and then people should aspire for change, so on and so forth. Right. But let's take for a moment an example that this speaker is giving a lot of advice, and so is somebody that you go to for counseling is giving you a lot of advice, right? This person listens to it and walks out saying it's so easy for them to tell me to do something, but they don't know my reality, they don't know my life, and thus our beliefs will reject what the person is saying, and so you walk out like, wow, fantastic, but can I make a change? No. But where NLP stands as a difference in this, and I'm sure there are many other schools of thought that are similar to NLP as well, but the major difference is NLP, there is no putting in. Okay, the difference is NLP does drawing out. NLP draws out of a person from his own belief system what is contextually needed for him and by him. Right? So let's take one of the presuppositions in NLP that says that all the resources necessary to bring about change are already within us. So even when we say, do I lack something? I don't lack a resource. I maybe lack my awareness that the resource already exists inside me. Let's take confidence. Somebody says, oh, I have no confidence. And when you ask the person a question, so this is where NLP means drawing out. So if you ask the person, oh, you don't have confidence, interesting. Have you never displayed confidence in your life? The person says, nah. And then you ask one more time. This is where language and tonality. Have you never displayed confidence in your life? And the person sat back and says, not never, I have sometimes, but not as often as I would like to. And then you catch upon that linguistical representation that, ooh, so you do have the resource. You are just choosing to put it in a certain context. So NLP is all about a state in a specific context. Okay. So then when you say, oh, so you do have confidence in your little cooking box, you do have all the ingredients you need. You are just not choosing to add it everywhere. And then when you put confidence in the context in which a person needs it, he brings about the change. So NLP is all about drawing out, helping the person understand that he has everything within him. So there is no need to seek outside. Even role modeling, it is said that we like people who are like us is because we like certain abilities in them purely because we have it inside us anyway. So there is no need to say, oh my God, I would love to be like you. You noticed his confidence because you have it anyway. You just need to put it in the right context and in the right degree. Yes, NLP does act as the bridge, because all from knowing, there has to be a bridge to doing. Okay, because knowing is knowing and doing is doing. Till the knowing does not become doing, it's pointless. So NLP makes you take charge, draws out of you your capacities, and makes you competent to build a bridge and walk it yourself. So nobody else is building it for you. Nobody is holding your hand and taking you across. You goddamn build your own bridge and you walk across, because you created your own problems to begin with, unknowingly most often. So you do it yourself.
Can you help us maybe with like a small tool or a small example as a takeaway from this super interesting and mind-opening conversation.
We are nowadays trained to look at more differences than look at similarities. Okay. Right. You see somebody and people are conditioned to focus on how different somebody is from me rather than how similar we are with each other. Okay. And that's precisely why we have so many fragmentations and undercurrents world over with just race and color and one's financial status, so on and so forth, right? But with rapport, let's understand that as humans we are social animals and we are meant to be living as a fabric. Our default conditioning, children don't look at differences till they are not taught how to look for differences. Okay. So let's first maybe acknowledge that our default mode is to be in beautiful rapport and in sync with everything around us. Okay. So a simple tool would be start focusing on how somebody who you really get along with or you don't get along with either. Start focusing on what is it that they are doing. Maybe small things. We are today in a world where you use WhatsApp and, media, let's say a phone.
Yes.
Even if somebody sends you a message with a smiley, there's a choice of a smiley a person makes.
Yes.
Okay. If you look at the nature of the messages you've received from them, you'll realize, this person uses a lot of emoticons.
Yes.
Or you will realize, this person sends a lot of audio notes.
Yes.
Or you will realize this person sits and types a whole lot.
Yes.
That means their world operates either very visually, okay, very, very auditorily, because they would rather hear and be heard, or the person is again highly visual or bodily or kinesthetically comfortable in sitting and typing so much.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
Now, if somebody is sending you a smiley in a specific manner and you would like to improve your interpersonal relationships with them,
yes,
monkey see, monkey do. The simple thing is identify what is the kind of smiley they're using, and even revert or answer with a similar smiley.
Yes.
And his brain will immediately say, we like people who are like us. And this is a very unconscious process. Okay. And this person will say or think to himself, this fellow, I like coordinating with him. I like doing business with him. I'd love to approach him. I'm comfortable with him.
Yes.
Because rapport basically means creating an environment of comfort.
Yes.
Okay. And if you have comfort with somebody, you permit them into your space, mental, physical space.
Yes.
So if somebody is leaving you voice notes, even if it means just saying, hey, gotcha, I'll get back to you as a voice note. You are then rapport building with them in a sensory gateway or pathway that they're most comfortable with. So probably a little tip or a tool people can start doing is just become aware of how somebody is operating, how their world is operating, how their senses are operating, and just start ironing out these differences and starting looking at more similarities. Maybe people can start doing something as simple as that and realize that the fabric of their interpersonal relationships will have more meaning. So they're focusing on similarities rather than differences, and hopefully that should work and help them. Right?